What you're looking at right now on my screen is a working app. It has a clean homepage, it saves information, and it runs in a real web browser. Here's the part that still feels strange to say out loud. I did not write a single line of the code behind it. I typed one plain English sentence, hit enter, and an AI agent built the whole thing while I sat back and watched. The tool is called Google Antigravity. It's free to start, and by the end of this video, you're going to build your own first app with it, even if you've never written a single line of code in your life and have no plans to start. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the AI Academy. My name is Eric, and on this channel, we take the AI tools that everyone's talking about and show you how to actually use them in plain language. No computer science degree required. Today, we're talking about something called agent-first coding, and Antigravity is one of the first tools built around that idea from the ground up. So let me explain what that phrase even means, because it matters. For years, coding tools worked like a fancy autocomplete. You wrote some code, and the AI suggested the next few words. You were still the one doing the real work. Agent First flips that around. Instead of you writing code and the AI helping, you describe what you want in regular words, and the AI does the building. You become the manager, and the AI is the one typing. That's the whole shift. And once you see it happen, it's hard to unsee. Antigravity comes from Google. It first launched at the end of 2025 and has been updated since. So if the menu looks a little different from mine, then trust what's on your screen. Now, under the hood, it runs on Google's Gemini models. And interestingly, you can even switch it over to other AI models if you want to. But you don't need to know any of that to use it. Let me show you how it actually works. First, what you need. The good news is almost nothing. Antigravity has a free tier, no credit card required. You'll want a regular Google account. The same Gmail that you already use for email is totally fine. And you'll need to download the program itself, which works on Windows, Mac, and Linux. Just go to the official Antigravity site from Google or click the link down below in the description, download it, and install it like any other program. When you open it up for the first time, it walks you through a really quick setup. It'll also ask you to pick a color theme, which is just a personal preference. Then it asks about something called agent autonomy. This is basically how much freedom you want to give the AI. There are a few levels, and I'd recommend starting with the one called request review. That setting lets the AI do the work, but checks in with you before making big moves, so nothing happens that you didn't approve. As you get comfortable, you can hand it more freedom later. Now here's where it gets interesting. Antigravity has two main areas, and understanding them is the key to the whole thing. The first is the editor, which looks like a normal code workspace. If you've ever seen a programmer's screen, that's the part. You can mostly ignore it as a beginner. The second area is the one that you'll live in, and it's called the agent manager. Think of it as mission control. It's where you tell the agents what to do and watch them work. So here we are inside of Antigravity. We can either start a new conversation here. We can go ahead and select a project right here. We can go ahead and select new project. So go ahead and add a folder here. We'll just put it on the desktop and hit open. Let's go new folder and we'll call it my first app and click create and we'll open that up. Now here's that agent security settings. So this is default, requires manual review. Full machine means that all terminal commands require review. We'll leave it on default for now and click next. Call this project my first app and we'll start the first conversation. In the agent manager, you start a new conversation and you type what you want to build. Be specific because specific gets you better results. So we have this typed in and let's go ahead and click enter. The agent doesn't just start spitting out code. First, it writes you a plan. It lays out in plain English what it's going to build and the steps it'll take to get there. Once the plan looks right, you give it the go ahead and the agent starts building. So here we go. We went ahead and put this in here, allow running this command. We can either say yes, allow, yes, always allow. So we'll go ahead and just say 2 here and hit submit and let it start working. Then the agent starts building. You'll see files getting created and code getting written, all on its own. When it finishes a chunk, it shows you the changes in something called a diff, which is just a side-by-side view of what it added. You do not need to read the code line by line. Okay, here we go. So it looks like it went ahead and gave us an implementation plan. It's to create a premium glass morphic to-do list web application in the empty workspace directory using vanilla HTML, CSS, and JS, featuring modern animations and persistence via local storage. We'll go ahead and click proceed. You can glance at it and click accept, but the best part comes at the end. Antigravity doesn't just claim the app works. It actually opens a web browser, clicks through your app like a real person would, and records itself doing it. So you get a little video of your own app running with the AI testing every button to prove it works. Now stick with me here because this verification step is the thing that sets Antigravity apart from most other tools, and it's the reason you can trust what it builds without knowing how to check the code yourself. All right, so it looks like it finished. We can go ahead ahead and click right here. We can go ahead and preview the live application in your browser here. So I'll go ahead and click on that, and it brings us over here into the browser. So here we go. We can go ahead and add something to our list here. Maybe something like subscribe to the AI Academy. Make sure you go ahead and do that. And now we can see it down in our list there too. It also went ahead and put in some filters there. So we've got active, we've got those 3 there. We've got the completed one. So if we come back here, we'll go ahead and subscribe because you went ahead and hit that button down there, and we can see that animate up. We can check these all off, and there we go. We even get a little celebration there for when it's over. So pretty cool. And this all came from a single prompt. All right, and just like that, you have a working app. If you're sitting there wondering what to actually build first, let me give you a few ideas that work great for a first project. A to-do list is the classic because it's simple and you can see it working right away. A tip calculator is another good one. So is a personal homepage with your name, a photo, and links to your social accounts. Pick something small that you genuinely find useful because you'll learn faster when you actually care about the result. Then, once that works, ask the agent to add one more feature and watch how it handles the change. Now, one honest tip before you go wild. The AI is good, but it's not magic. Treat it like a smart junior assistant, not a senior expert. The more specific and clear you are, the better it does. The biggest beginner mistake is typing one prompt, getting something that's almost right, and giving up. Don't do that. Just tell it what to fix the same way you'd talk to a person and let it try again. I should also be straight with you about one thing. The free tier does have limits, and Google has tightened how much you can use for free more than once, which a lot of people have been frustrated by. You get a set amount of usage that resets on a rolling basis, though the exact timing has been inconsistent. It's still plenty for learning in small projects. If you find yourself building all day every day, then that's when the paid plans come in. For your first app, free is all you need. So once your app is built and running on your computer, you might be wondering how to actually put it online so other people can use it. That's where you'll need a place to host it, which is just a server that keeps your app live on the internet around the clock. I recommend Hostinger for this kind of thing because it's cheap and beginner friendly, and I'll drop a link down below in the description if you want to go ahead and grab the same setup that I use. You build the app with Antigravity, then you host it so the world can see it. So let me quickly recap what we did here because we just covered a lot. You downloaded Antigravity, signed in with a Google account, and opened a fresh project folder. You used the agent manager to describe an app in plain English. The agent wrote you a plan, you approved it, and it built the whole thing. Then it tested the app in a real browser and proved that it worked. That's agent first coding, start to finish. And you didn't write a single line yourself. Here's the big takeaway in this. The barrier to building software used to be years of learning code. That barrier is getting lower by the day. You don't need to become a programmer anymore. You need to get good at describing what you want clearly and let the agent handle the rest. If you want to get started with Google Antigravity or Hostinger, you can go ahead and find links for them down in the description below. These are affiliate links, which means we do earn a small commission when you use them at no extra cost to you. And supporting the channel this way really helps us keep creating practical, beginner-friendly content to help you learn and leverage AI. So if you end up using it, we really appreciate it. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another video. Here on the AI Academy, we make videos that break down artificial intelligence tools, workflows, and strategies to help you stay ahead of the curve. Whether you're a creator, entrepreneur, or just curious about what AI can do. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you here in the next video.